All right, welcome to episode 5 of Orlando Out of Context. I'm Brian.
I'm Stephanie.
Welcome, everyone. Follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context and visit us at orlandooutofcontext.com. Please listen and subscribe on Apple Podcast app, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And hopefully Spotify soon.
And leave those reviews. We love hearing feedback. Just like, you know, because we spend so much time working on this and we just want to know what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, give us feedback.
Good or bad.
Direct message to Instagram. That works, or email. So this is the 4th of July episode. Happy 4th of July, or almost 4th of July. The release date is June 17th. So by the time this releases, and everyone's kind of be
prepping for
their 4th. And
we want to help you prep for your Orlando 4th of July.
And we want to reminisce about 4th of Julys of old.
Of the past.
What are we going to talk about first?
Well, let's reminisce first, I suppose.
Okay.
Let's go back. So I'll start because I have a deep-rooted passion for the 4th of July. The 4th of July, I would say, is like after Halloween, Christmas, and then 4th of July is my third favorite holiday. And I know that sounds like way down the line, but I love 4th of July. So growing up, you know, I grew up in Pennsylvania, and so the summer there was really nice. It was like, you know, it wasn't like it is here where it's like unbearably hot. Like you could spend the whole day outside, like barbecuing, hanging out with the family, and you wouldn't be like dying. And so my grandma we would always spend 4th of July at my grandma's house. And she lived like, I can't even really explain the way her house was. But basically her neighbors were like all around her. And it was just like so cool because everyone would just come to my grandma's house. Mm-hmm. Like everybody, like we would have like tons of fireworks. Me and my dad and my mom, we would always go shopping to this place. So we live close to like the Pennsylvania line, and
so did you have to go out of state to Ohio? But it was legal to shoot them off.
I don't know because I was a child. I don't know the logistics of it. I just remember always going to Ohio. There was this place, I believe it's called Over the Line Fireworks because it's literally just like right over the line of Ohio. So we would always go there to get fireworks, and then we'd bring them home. And me and my dad loved fireworks. My mom, not so much. But we were definitely pyros. So we would, you know, just hang out all day at my grandma's. We'd barbecue. We'd have the radio playing. And then at night, you know, we would like shoot our fireworks and, you know, do all that stuff. And would you eat by the pool? We didn't eat by the pool because we didn't have a pool. But this is like a running joke in our friendship.
So the story is that like, I don't know, it was probably nearly 10 years ago.
Because I was trying to bring a sense of
family and
holiday and family to the day. Living in Orlando in an apartment complex takes a lot out of your traditions.
Stephanie's expectations were extremely high. She wanted us to. We were living together at the time. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what we cooked. We cooked something, some kind of. We decided on something to cook. We cooked something,
probably burgers on the George Foreman or something.
And Stephanie was like, "Let's eat at the pool," and
everybody was like, "I don't want to drag anything down."
And so she has a fit and said, "We're gonna eat at the pool.
We're eating by the pool."
So we went
and ate
to
by
the complex pool and ate by the pool. You know, it was nice. But what I remember from that night, I think that was the night that. The 4th of July that Ashley was around. Was that?
And she lit.
She
like, thought she had a sparkler.
It was like a bottle rocket.
And it was a bottle rocket in her hand.
And she was shooting it towards the garages. That was a night where Brian had to come inside and lock himself in his room because my anxiety was off the chain and I needed to escape from
I
the
had
craziness.
A big adjustment to make when I moved to Florida because the old Stephanie, the younger Stephanie, I just had all these deep-rooted emotions for holidays and traditions. And it's like, when you move here, things have to change. You know, like here, there's no, like where I live, there's tons of open areas. Like my mom's house sits on like an acre and a half of land. My grandma's house has a large piece of land as well. And you can freely shoot stuff. But here, I've always lived in an apartment. Well, I lived in a home for a short amount of time, but still
Even
a lot
then,
of
you
homes. Even then, it's just things are too close together. The grass here is sometimes too dry. Maybe not in the summer, but it's just not the place to be shooting fireworks. And it took me a long time to accept that.
Right.
It took me a few years of shooting fireworks, places that I shouldn't have, and being disappointed in my holidays, to just accept that a holiday can be anything you want it to be.
And we celebrate a little bit differently here because we have the activities here are organized.
I had to learn to go to other bigger activities and accept that I wasn't going to be able to put on my own fireworks show.
We could buy fireworks right around the corner, basically, and our church had a fireworks booth growing up, so we would buy our fireworks from the church fireworks booth because it was a way to kind of fundraise for the church. And we, I guess, had the...
Now, were they all like serious fireworks, or were they just like little sparklers and
no.
rockets?
I mean, there was serious ground fireworks, but they weren't shooting.
Yeah.
They weren't rocket. They weren't shooting into the sky because where I lived was, in the Sacramento suburb. You can't be shooting off, fireworks in a dense residential area. So all ground fireworks. But yeah, I grew up. We shot off fireworks, all the ground fireworks. We didn't shoot off. I mean, people would get their hands on bottle rockets and stuff, but we never.
Also,
did that.
I grew up like the town that I grew up in was like the neighboring town to a company called Zambelli Fireworks, which is a huge. They were founded in 1893 in Italy, and they're the providers for a lot of firework places all over the U.S.
Okay.
So we always got the best firework shows at our public firework shows in the town.
The brand name that we had at the church was Phantom Fireworks.
Yeah, there was a Phantom Fireworks in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a bigger, nicer place because I believe it's a chain than the ghetto little over-the-line fireworks place that we used to go to. Because that one was a little deeper into Ohio, so we didn't go to that one that much.
I never worked the fireworks booth, but my mom would, and a few of my friends would work. They would take shifts working the fireworks booth to sell the fireworks. I hadn't thought about that in so long until right now that the church had the fireworks booth. Yeah, that's interesting.
So did you have events where your town would gather into one spot to watch a large fireworks display?
So I remember growing up, my grandparents lived close to Del Campo High School, which is it Carmichael? It's Carmichael or Fair Oaks, if you're familiar with Sacramento suburbs. And Del Campo at the time would have a fireworks show go off there. So my grandparents were in walking distance, and I think I remember at least one year, I think my parents walked us over there from my grandparents' house. They would just they parked there and then we walked over. But sometimes we would watch from my grandparents' house. You could see some of the fireworks from my grandparents' house because they lived so close. So we would watch from there. But yeah.
We'd also have where you could they would tell you where to tune your radio. Oh. And the radio station would play the music.
But I have good memories of 4th of July, but they're not it wasn't the same every year. Like Christmas tradition was the same every year, and generally Thanksgiving was the same and Easter was the same. It wasn't in that. Not every year was quite the same. Yeah. We didn't follow the same routine every year. But I have good memories of it. I remember I was pretty young when they took me to the Del Campo High School fireworks, and I did not like being so close to the fireworks.
Fireworks before we moved to Florida were, in my mind, something very special that I only saw once a year, which was maybe another reason I loved 4th of July so much, but now that we live here in Orlando, literally we see fireworks like every day.
I definitely take fireworks
day.
for granted now.
Yeah.
I don't think they impress me as much
Definitely.
anymore, which it's not to say that I don't enjoy watching them. Obviously I do. I just
They just become a regular
when you
part
work
of our
at
life.
the Magic Kingdom,
We saw fireworks show every single night at work.
You see it every single night. So Wishes, if you're familiar with Wishes fireworks show at the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World, I mean, I knew that show by heart and was over. I was over. I like the new one. I think it's called Dream.
I don't know what it's called.
I like the new one, but the new one uses a lot of projection on the castle, which I like the projection on the castle. I like to see that technology and kind of the castle come to life. So I like that stuff mixed in with the fireworks. So it gives it a new layer for me. Even though I think there's less fireworks, that doesn't bother me at all. I like the story and
then pretty much just driving around Orlando. Like some nights, if I'm driving home late from work, I'll see the fireworks from Universal, fireworks from Disney, fireworks from SeaWorld. Some of the apartments that I've lived in, I could see Magic Kingdom fireworks from my bedroom. So we wanted to just cover some of the 4th of July events that are going on in Orlando. One of the bigger ones that we do every year here is called Red Hot and Boom, and that's in Cranes Roost Park in Altamonte Springs. And they have...
Is that the park that's on like the water near the mall?
Yeah, it's right near the mall. So you could park at the mall. Most people park at the mall and just walk over because it's right next to the mall. But so I went to this event with Debbie like 3 years ago because I wanted to see Ingrid Michaelson. So generally at this event they have like one good artist and then like a bunch of smaller maybe lesser known artists. But this year, looking at the lineup, I don't know any of these people. Well, I guess Echo Smith. Do we know Echo Smith?
I don't know Echo Smith.
So the lineup is Echo Smith, Alyssa Rajul, Lava, Logan Henderson, Max, In Real Life, Jack and Jack.
And then one of them, you said, was an American Idol.
One of them is a American Idol contestant, winner, runner-up, something of that nature. So basically, it is this event takes place on July 3rd, from 4 to 11 p.m. So they have on the water. They have like a kind of like a floating stage, I guess, and then people like line up all around the lake. And they kind of just bring blankets and picnic stuff and just kind of hang out all day listening to the music. And then at 11 is when the fireworks display is. Oh, it says the fireworks are scheduled to begin at 9:30 p.m. weather permitting is what the website says. The show's choreographed music is going to be on 106.7 for people that maybe... I guess if you live in the apartments there, you can definitely see them. There's apartments there at right by the lake there. But this place is nutso. So
does it get crazy?
It gets crazy. I'm telling you, like teens galore.
Like teens without their parents.
Yes. Tons of people. Tons. So this is something you could do, I don't know why this event is on a Tuesday. But you could do this if you have 4th of July plans, you could still do this because this is on the 3rd.
Oh, so they have it the day before.
Yeah, it's always the day before.
Okay. But they have fireworks.
Yeah, and they're nice. They're really nice fireworks. But when we went, it was miserably hot. It was really, really hot and very crowded, but it was still fun. I mean, I don't think we would go now in our older age.
Well, I think
and our hatred for crowds.
It's something that you probably.
Basically, I just went to see Ingrid. So
yeah, if you know an artist and if it's close by, it makes it easier. If it's right in your backyard, it's not quite in our backyard,
and it's free.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's free. So another one is Lake Eola fireworks. Fireworks at the fountain, and that's from 4 to 10 on July 4th. I went to this 2 4th of Julys ago. Yeah.
What time did you get there?
We got there just right before the fireworks started. we just parked and just walked up, and just as soon as we walked up, the fireworks started, and then we left. I think we might have, I don't know, maybe worked during the day, or we didn't want to. It was, again, super hot. And just those couple minutes we spent watching the fireworks, we just dripping sweat.
Well, it's that time of year.
It's just like, ugh.
Basically,
but those were nice too, and that's a very similar event where it's around Lake Eola. People bring, blankets and stuff, and they had some.
They have vendors.
Vendors, yeah, food vendors, carts, food trucks, stuff like that. Those fireworks were real nice as well. They incorporate the fountain, the lights on the fountain and stuff into those.
That's cool.
And then we also have Disney fireworks. So Disney, I think, might be my favorite fireworks because they do what's called perimeter fireworks, where, so if you're in the park, you have fireworks 360 around you. And it's a special show. It's Disney's Celebrate America, a 4th of July concert in the sky. So it's not, it's a different show than their normal show. And this is going to be on July 3rd and 4th at 9:15. So if you don't have park tickets, we used to go a lot to the Polynesian Resort and watch the fireworks from the beachfront.
Yes.
Which is really nice. We would go New Year's Eve fireworks.
They're probably going to not let you in, like in terms of your car. So you're just going to have to get creative of how you park and walk over to the Polynesian. But there's ways that you can do that.
There's ways. There's a walking path from the Ticket and Transportation Center to the Polynesian.
I like the fact, one of the things that I like that Disney does, and we did this for my friends who were visiting from Brazil did this for New Year's Eve. We planned it out, their visit, kind of, okay, we're going to do this that day, whatever. We planned that we weren't going to go on New Year's Eve night to see the New Year's fireworks. We went the night or 2 nights before. Obviously, that cuts down on your crowds. You get to experience the fireworks, but it cuts down. And it's the same exact show. And it's the same exact show. They count for New Year's Eve. They count down just like they do on the regular show. So I think it's nice because it gives you, it spreads it out. It allows for the crowds not to be so great, and the traffic home to be a little bit more bearable because not everyone is going to be there 4th of July. So that's what was going to be my question to you, is if Disney was doing the 3rd as well as the 4th. Yes,
they're doing the 3rd and 4th.
Disney also does
perimeter fireworks.
And that means that they shoot from Seven Seas Lagoon as well. Yeah. So basically they shoot the same fireworks that they shoot behind the Magic Kingdom. They shoot it from an island in Seven Seas Lagoon. So it's great
really
views.
Cool experience.
Yeah, it's a great experience. It's awesome in the park, but you don't have to experience it in the park.
Yeah.
And we didn't for New Year's Eve. We went on maybe the 30th, I think, and we experienced it from the Polynesian. We didn't have a problem parking at the Polynesian.
No.
And we watched it from there. And
there's also a cute little bar at the Polynesian that we like to go to.
Trader Sam's. I
mean, you want to just check in there and make sure there's room. Sometimes it's full, but
I don't mind the patio.
Even the patio there would be.
You could actually watch the fireworks from the patio at Trader Sam's.
Oh yeah.
Which I've done before. It makes a great date.
Yeah.
FYI.
It's a nice atmosphere. It's quiet. It's a little dark back there, a little mysterious.
Calm down.
A little romantic.
Anyway, I like the watching it outside the park because you can get right to your car and go home.
And they play the music over there. They play the music. The same music they're playing in the park, they will play
at the
Polynesian.
And even at Trader Sam's, you could hear the music at Trader Sam's outside. Yeah. And what about Epcot? Do you know?
I did not do any research on Epcot. I think, as far as I know, they just do an add-on to their illuminations. So they have they'll play the regular illuminations, and then they have an add-on tag that they do at the end. Special for the 4th of July and for New Year's Eve. But I didn't do any research for that.
I'm just pulling up the Disney World website now, seeing if it loads. Actually, I'm at touringplans.com, which is the first result on Google. it looks like
See how they list this as Disney Celebrate America, but then everything else is just the same.
Right. So Epcot Illuminations Reflections of Earth is at 9. I'm guessing that they have a 4th of July tag on that.
I've seen it in the past, yes.
And you can see that show from the Epcot resorts, like the yacht.
Yeah, if you're
Club,
at the boardwalk or the beach club.
you can't see it as well as you can see stuff from the Magic Kingdom.
No.
Though I would say if you're outside of the park.
But in a pinch, if you wanted to, you could stand on that bridge at the back entrance at the World Gateway.
And then Disney's Hollywood Studios has Fantasmic, but I don't count Fantasmic really as a fireworks show. That's at 9 and 10:30 if you count that as a fireworks show, which I don't.
The Star Wars fireworks are spectacular.
Yeah,
I don't even like Star Wars, and I think these are really cool.
They're awesome fireworks. So
they incorporate a lot of different like lasers and like projections against buildings and blowing huge fire cannon thingies.
Yeah, I was impressed with Star. I've only seen it once, but the Star Wars, the Galactic Spectacular, they're very good, very good. And then they say Rivers of Light
wah wah
at Disney's Animal Kingdom which is not fireworks at all.
There's no fireworks at all there.
Don't bother.
Don't go there.
But if you want no crowds, you can go over there because I'm sure nobody will be watching Rivers of Light at 9:15 or 10:15.
Yeah, you have the whole show to yourself.
All right. So then next week, Toy Story at Disney Studios, while we're on the topic of Disney parks.
You know what? I just realized that my
opening.
My pass is blocked out, so I'm not even going to get to go.
Sorry. I guess I'll go and report.
Reporting.
Because we've been looking at the podcast schedule, and we're like, all right, how are we going to work this, in terms of reporting back to you guys? Because we know we're not going to have all people in Orlando, or not even all people in Orlando are going to go to make it to Toy Story, but we wanted to go check it out and report back our findings. But Toy Story opens, I think, June
30th.
Mm-hmm.
So we both have annual passes. I have a silver. He's got a gold. So I'm blocked out during the summer months and basically 1 week for every major holiday. But Brian's got the gold one, so he can go whenever he wants.
Mine's blocked out. The gold one is blocked out just for like Christmas, I think, and New Year's. I have some pictures right now that I just pulled up of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge construction. It looks pretty big.
Yeah.
Don't you think that looks huge? This is on Orlando Sentinel. I think it's a recent article. This is pretty big.
It says an aerial view of construction Tuesday, June 5th. So that was like really recent.
It looks very big.
So what is this red building here?
I'm not
Just for
sure.
reference.
Is that, you know what? I think that's Muppets. Is that Muppets?
I don't know.
We're trying to figure that out because I'm pretty sure Muppets is staying.
I always love when new things come into the park and you kind of have to reorient yourself. So you're trying to think what used to be there and how it all fits now. And it's kind of interesting to see how the Imagineers imagine things because, sometimes knowing the parks as well as we do, you stand in the park and you're like, where could they possibly build anything? Like when they built the new Fantasyland, I was like, where are they going to build anything? But then somehow they find room and they put things in and it just works. And
these aerial photos put Star Wars Galaxy's Edge very close to Toy Story. Right?
Yeah, but I think the way they do the trees and the stuff,
I bet you this is
nice.
This is raised, I guess.
Yeah.
So you won't see.
They always find a good way to blend it. You know what? I just realized I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Adam the Woo, and he's been making some videos again. He quit for a little bit. Oh, he took a little break. They're getting rid of the Bugs Land at Disney's
California Adventure, and are they putting?
I don't know.
Bugs Land was really cute.
I loved the Heimlich Choo Choo.
Yes, the Heimlich Choo Choo. All their rides were great because it was for smaller kids, but it was really well themed.
It's cute.
and it just was
he did a
cute
whole
land.
video on basically he wanted to ride everything one last time before they took it down.
See, okay, so that building you were talking about, that's Muppets, because see, that's Star Tours, and you know how Star Tours you would walk around and then Muppets is right there. So this is the Muppets Theater right there.
Wow,
and
that's
it's
a lot of stuff.
It's right butted up. This is huge. This Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is pretty big.
We haven't really been going to this park very much because right now there's nothing to do there. Everything is closed.
I mean, people go there, I think, to do Tower and Rockin', and they make it a half-day park. It's definitely a half-day park right now.
And the parking situation there is not the best right now.
But they're moving. It looks like they're moving along pretty nicely with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and I think they announced a few weeks ago that it's going to be opening fall of 2019. So we still have over a year to go. Oh wow, they got some like shots.
These are some great shots. If you want to check this out, this is on the OrlandoSentinel.com.
The story was released on June 6th of 2018, and you can see some really great shots.
They're very clear.
Yeah. Oh wait, now we're into California.
I was gonna say we don't have mountains like that in Florida. I was like, where are these at? I want to see those mountains.
So now we're looking at California. Disneyland is also getting Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which will be interesting. It is back, I believe, where Toontown used to be. You know, Toontown.
They got rid of Toontown?
I think they were getting rid of Toontown for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I believe. This is, I'm sure, not quite as big as ours. And then they have some concept art too, which I don't know if I've seen some of this concept art that they're showing.
I haven't seen any of it because my interest in Star Wars is
zilch,
less than zilch. So even that's how little my Star Wars interest is, because even though it's with Disney, I love everything Disney, but this I really just could care. Even though this is a big piece of Disney, I just really don't care that much.
Well, I got even more excited for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge when I saw Pandora, because I feel like Disney really did a nice job with the Pandora as a land, and the details, and so it made me excited that okay, Disney is going to pay a lot of attention and detail. They have to do even more because it's their own world now. They own Star Wars, so because I'm such a big Star Wars fan, I'm really excited for Galaxy's Edge, and I will probably be there.
Honestly, I didn't even know that's what it was called until I hear you say that.
I've been calling it Star Wars Land, but it's written here in front of me, so it's just easier to call it what it is when I can actually see the name. But this ride is cool. So we're looking at the concept art of the Millennium Falcon ride. So supposedly, I was watching a video about this ride. Supposedly this ride, you're actually going to be able to navigate the ship, and you're actually going to, like, obviously this is going to be screens here, where in the cockpit you're going to be, screens, but you're going to be able to actually maneuver the ship in a unique way to your experience. So every single time you move or you go on it, you're going to have a totally different experience because whoever's in your party, they're going to be moving it whatever way, which
when I look at that, I think about probably I'm going to vomit if I ride that ride.
Well, you have to
but
ride
I really love
once.
experiencing everything at Disney at least once.
And then
if I can bear it.
The other attraction that's going to be in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is a trackless ride system, like a dark ride that that's trackless. I don't know if we have any currently, but Ratatouille in Paris, that's a trackless ride. So basically, it's a ride vehicle. It's kind of like, did you go on the Penguin ride at SeaWorld? Yeah. So there's no real track. It's
kind of like a little hovering bumper car where you kind of just float on the floor almost.
Yeah, it's basically there's no track and there's sensors.
Maybe it's magnetic.
There's sensors that tells the car where to go. Yeah. But the other ride is going to be supposedly a dark ride similar to that format.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the updates. I guess Brian will have to bring them to you because I am banned from the park till the end of summer.
Well, Toy Story. So what's Toy Story getting? Toy Story is getting the Slinky Dog roller coaster. Dog. I think they're getting
That's
some
all
kind
that
of.
I thought.
They're getting some kind of, I don't know, alien bumper car thing.
I want them to bring back Pizza Planet.
Oh, I thought Pizza Planet's going to stay.
They made that stupid.
Well, okay, they
what
still
is
have
it?
the pizza place,
It's
but
a-
it's not.
It's
pizza
themed differently.
yeah,
and
it's themed
kind of
Italian.
meh. But right beside that other Mama Melrose Italian place. Slinky
Okay,
Dog
so
Dash.
we have Slinky Dog Dash. It says take the entire family for a toy-filled ride on Slinky Dog as he coils, twists around curves, hills, and drops. It's basically a roller coaster, a kiddie roller coaster.
Like the Barnstormer.
Yeah, it's a barnstormer.
And then we have alien swirling saucers. Hang on tight for an interstellar
Romp.
and a toy rocket set to an out-of-this-world beat.
And then Toy Story Mania.
Which
so
we've
does
had
that
for a
basically
while.
mean that there's really only 2 attractions that are coming?
I think that's what it means, yeah. Probably because Star Wars is going to take the majority
Well,
of
Star Wars
the-
only... Yeah, Star Wars does have
So what
the
they're going to do
majority.
is back up these 2 new attractions next to the area that was already themed for Toy Story Mania.
Right.
That area was themed very nicely already. So they're just going to add on those 2 extra things. Probably a restaurant. I think
there's a
there's
quick
going to be a
service.
quick service restaurant.
The quick service I saw was...
Probably 80 gift shops.
the quick service was something revolving around sandwiches. I think it has sandwiches in the title.
What is that? Oh, go
Oh,
back down.
no, this is it. It's
Woody's
Woody's
Lunchbox.
Lunchbox. So dig into Tasty Fare for honorary toys at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. After all, toys love snack time too. And then character encounters, it looks like, well, they've always had Woody and Buzz. It looks like they're adding Jessie as a permanent fixture to Toy Story Land. I personally wish they would have done a Pixar Land and that it wasn't so specific to Toy Story. Even I do like Toy Story, but I feel like we could have had the Monsters attraction that's in California Adventure, which is
so
really
cute.
cute, which is such an easy ride to implement
Yeah.
here. Instead of, this is always my thing, and I'm going to go on a rant here, but they added another, 1 or 2 tracks to Toy Story Mania to help with the line Toy Story
Yeah.
Mania. Okay, that's fine, but eventually nobody's going to care about Toy Story Mania, and it's going to be just like Buzz Lightyear is now at
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you add an additional attraction like Monsters, Inc.
Agreed.
to add an additional attraction?
To get people
Another dark
evenly
ride
dispersed.
attraction. Yeah. So then you get people excited about that, and I don't know. I think 3 rides in Toy Story Land, a kiddie coaster, and basically it looks like bumper cars.
Which bumper cars, I already see that ride being a ride that has like, so when you, I don't know, those of you who have maybe worked in a theme park, you start getting to understand how things work. And a ride like bumper cars is not a great ride for a park because the amount of people that can experience the attraction at one time is very low. And then, so the time that you spend in the bumper car might be like 3 or 4 minutes.
Less than 3 or 4 minutes. Like
you're gonna have
a minute.
like, as opposed to a ride that's continually moving or has multiple tracks or multiple cars. So these swirling saucers, I'm just not into
It
that.
seems like there's going to be
That's
a lot
kind of a fluff ride. That's what I would.
It's going to be a lot of
call a fluff
unloading,
ride.
loading and unloading,
Yeah.
and loading, and not very efficient in terms of getting people through an attraction so that they can feel like
They
they've done a lot.
experienced something and they enjoyed their day and
Right.
they did have, a good experience.
Yeah, I would have preferred maybe one more additional dark ride here, just
And
to.
I'm excited to see how the wait time changes for Toy Story Mania. I feel like it's always been high because that's honestly like for 5, 6, 7, 8 years now. There's only been like 4 rides in the park.
Right.
The coaster, the Tower of Terror, the Great Movie Ride, which.
Well,
what was
okay,
that?
so Great Movie Ride is getting a gut job and getting the Mickey's Runaway Train.
I'm excited for that
which I
because I
think
love trains.
that's going to be good, and that's going to help with the focus on Toy Story Mania.
Yeah.
Because Toy Story Mania was really the only attraction for kids. Because yes, Great Movie Ride was an attraction for kids.
not so much.
But not. It's not a ride that I don't think a kid would say I want to go back over and over to. Like that
was just one of those rides that is considered more efficient because it's taking a lot of people at once on the attraction.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Mickey's Runaway Train or whatever it's called. And I'm not sure what the open
And
date of
looking
that is.
at the concept art, it has the characters portrayed in the really cute way that I like them, like the new cute Mickey, the way he is. I don't really know how to explain it, but he's super cute. The new way they've been drawing him for some cartoons.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. So I will definitely be going to check it out, I guess, before Stephanie. Wah, wah, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Steph.
Maybe Lynn can get me in one day. I don't know.
Maybe she can get you in, or Wendell can get you in. Yeah, Wendell can get you in, unless they block out.
Yeah,
cast members allowing people in, so that could be
that could be a big. Yeah.
But definitely looking forward to studios finally being kind of coming back and being a park that is worth a full day.
Exactly.
Thank you guys again. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
I hope everyone has a safe one.
Don't blow your arms off.
Yeah, don't blow your ligaments off, please. So you can follow.
And eat by the pool.
Yeah, eat by the pool. Make Stephanie happy and eat by the pool. So you can follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context and visit us at orlandooutofcontext.com. And then make sure to listen and subscribe and give us ratings on Apple Podcast app, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And like we said, make sure you give us ratings.
Shout us out. Tag us in your photos of what you're doing around Orlando.
People have already been direct messaging us, even just that they're listening. So
we want to hear from you.
Let us know that you're even listening. Give us a shout out. We'll give you a shout out. And
hey, girl, hey.
Yeah, let's have fun. So until next time,
bye.
Bye. Someone's looking in the window.
Is it Kevin?
Wait, who was that? That was Junior, right? Junior made friends with Kevin, the dog.